Hey everyone, today we are going to play with our practice. So not take ourselves too seriously and have fun with our yoga practice. We will start laying on our back. You can find whatever shape is comfortable for you. And our legs extended, knees bent, as you prefer. And taking a moment here to settle in to begin. You can feel the back body against the floor. Soften the eyes, soften the jaw, letting go of any tension from the day. Inviting your attention to be guided towards your room, towards your body, and on your breath. Let's take 3 deep breaths together to start. Start by inhaling fully through the nose. Let it go through the mouth. Again, a little bit deeper inhale. And exhale. One last breath, deepest yet. And let it go. Come back to a natural, soft breath. And you can start wiggling your fingers, wiggle the toes. And then bring your knees in towards the chest. You can place one hand on each knee. Start rocking a little bit side to side. Massage the low back against the floor. And you can start drawing circles with the knees, bringing them in opposite directions. Inviting a bit of movement through the hips and also through the lower back and the pelvis. You might notice the pelvis, this lower part of your torso or the middle part of your body, tipping forward and back as the knees come in and out. From here, bring the knees back towards each other and reach the legs up towards the ceiling. If this doesn't feel good for your back, you can also bring your hands under the lower back for a little bit of extra support. And from here, you're welcome to keep the knees gently bent. Doesn't need to be hard here. And let's point the toes towards the ceiling. So you're stretching through the front to the tops of the feet. And then flex the feet. So drawing the toes towards the shin bones. Do that a few times. Point, which is a plantar flexion. And flex, right, dorsiflexion to be more precise. And again, point and flex. And point and flex. We'll go into that plantar flexion, pointing, but then flex the toes. So you're bringing the feet towards the ceiling, but the toes down and spreading the toes apart. And then flex the foot and point the toes. So the ankles are folding in, but the toes are pointing up. All right, let's do that a few times. Point the feet, flex the toes. Flex the feet, point the toes. Point the feet, flex the toes. Flex the feet, point the toes. One more time with my bird. Point the feet, flex the toes. Flex the feet, point the toes. And let that go. You can shake it out. Such simple movement can be so intense. All right, keep the legs up. And now you'll find it sideways flexion. So bringing the soles of the feet towards each other and then apart from each other. So it's like you're bending side to side. It might be a much smaller movement here in the ankle, which is fine. But if you strengthen here a little bit more, if you tend to kind of twist your ankle or stuff like that, this can be good to strengthen and find a bit more stability here. And do that a few more times. Ooh, it's burning. All right, then let's release that. You can shake it off. And then bring one foot at a time to the floor. Hug the right knee in towards the chest. Rock a little bit side to side again, warming up the hip. And we'll go into half happy baby. So reaching the right knee towards the right armpit. You're welcome to stay here. Maybe bring the right hand behind the knee. Maybe grab the shin bone. So you see my arm is inside of the knee and my hand wraps outside of the leg. Maybe grab the outer edge of the foot. So you're kind of gently pushing that knee outwards, but also imagine that you're holding a platter with your right sole of the foot. If it doesn't get there, you can bend the knee and just grab the lower down the leg. Wherever you are, you can start rocking a little bit side to side, reaching the right knee towards the floor, rocking to the left. It's so happy baby or have happy baby. Can you embody this idea of a happy baby in their crib, playing with their feet? Not taking it too seriously. You can't take happy baby too seriously. It's a pretty funny posture. All right, come back towards center and we'll switch legs. Drop the right foot to the floor, bring the left knee in towards the chest and start by rocking side to side. And when you're ready, come into your half happy baby on the left side, left knee towards the armpit. Maybe stay here, maybe grab the back of the leg, the shin bone, or the outer edge of the foot. Might be different from one side to the other. What I want you to do is not come here, try to grab the foot, make sure your upper back and your head are relaxed, and adjust as you need. And you can either stay stable or move in your happy baby, finding that simple little joy that babies have in just being in the present moment. Slowly come back to center. Bring your left foot back to the floor. Gather the knees back towards the chest and start rolling up and down the spine. Rocking and rolling. And when you have enough energy, come all the way up towards your seat. Cross the ankles and step back to your tabletop. You can bring your hands directly under the shoulders, the knees directly under the hips. Let's start by drawing circles around the wrists. Let's warm them up. You can shift the weight across the palms of the hands, across the fingertips. At the same time, you're also warming up the hips a little bit more here with those circles, so that's nice. And change the direction of the circles. And we'll play a little bit with our wrist warm up here. So you bring the hands a little bit closer towards you and bring the weight onto the outer edge of the hands, pinky side. Come onto the fingertips, making little tents with the hands. Coming onto your fists. So we're just switching around the weight. Then maybe see how you can place weight on your thumbs. It's a weird one. On the backs of the hands. Pointing the fingers towards the knees or outwards or towards each other. And keep going. See if you can be creative, playful with your hand warm up. Make it as fun as it can be. Notice all those different angles and places where you could put weight on your hands. Creates a bit of strength through the wrists of the hands to help them take on a bit more weight as you come and stay on your hands through your practice. All right, let's gently make our way back onto hands and knees in our tabletop. Finding a center once again. Let's do a few cat-cows. So inhale to lower the belly, lift the hips, chest forward, gaze forward. Exhale to round, tailbone points down, chin to chest. Inhale in cow, reach the chest forward, shoulders back. Exhale round, scooping into the front body, hugging in through the chin. Once more, inhale in cow. Exhale in cat, pushing the back of the heart towards the ceiling. Inhale back to center, And tuck the toes. Push the hips towards the heels and start stretching through the soles of the feet and the toes. Find a bit of energy through the arms, pushing through the shoulders, all the way to the fingertips. The head can be wherever you prefer. If you'd like, you can do little bounces. Again, being playful with it. And from here, push a little bit more into the arms, and you'll lift the knee, make your way all the way back to your downward facing dog. You can bend the knees here, you can make your stance a little bit wider, walking the hands forward. And let's bend one knee at a time. Warming up through the calves. Let the head be heavy. And you can find a bit of stability here, keeping both knees gently bent. Inhale forward to plank, shoulders over the wrists. Exhale, push it back to your down dog, hips lift. Once again, inhale, draw it forward, pulling the hands back. Exhale, push it up and back to downward facing dog. Once more like that, inhale, roll forward. Exhale, push back. Keep the knees bent here, walk the hands towards the feet. Shifting the heels down to the ground, coming to our standing forward fold. Let the head and shoulders be heavy. Push through the heels and roll your way up, one little part at a time. Noticing the spine as you lift up. Shoulders and head come up placid in mountain pose. And we'll come down the same way we came up. Tuck the chin, round the shoulders. Rolling your way one little part at a time. You're welcome to bend the knees, bringing the hands back to the floor, and walk the hands forward, coming back to our plank pose. You can always bring the knees down if you need, or keep them lifted. And let's lift the right hand. Try to keep stability, and not be too serious about it. Right hand down, left hand lifts. Right hand down, right hand lifts. One more time, right hand down, left hand lifts. Left hand down, downward facing dog. Let's walk the hands back towards the feet. Going towards our standing forward fold, Uttanasana. Push to the heels, gentle bend in the knees. Head heavy as you roll your way up. And again, coming back down, chin in, roll the shoulders. Roll it down. You might find a nice stretch along your vertebrae. When your hands come to the ground, walk your way back forward. Coming into plank. From here, always option to lower the knees. Keep your strength, find stability, and lift the right hand. Maybe lift the left foot. Maybe smile, let yourself fall and come back. That's part of the game. Lower the right hand, lower the left foot. Other side, left hand lifts, right foot lifts. Playing with your balance here. See how your body adjusts. Lower the hand and foot. Once again, right hand lifts, left foot. You might find a bit more stability. Once you start playing with it, your body learns. And then lower, other side one last time with the left hand and the right foot. And lower down, downward facing dog. Take a full breath in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. On your inhale, lift the right leg back. Exhale, knee to nose, hug it in. Inhale, push back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, push back one last time. Exhale, knee to nose instead of the between the hands. You're going to shift the weight to the right foot, floating up into a standing splits, left foot up. From here, exhale, bring the knee towards the chest. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, lift back and up, and step the foot all the way back to the ground. Lower the left knee. Angle through the left hand, twist to the right, twist. Exhale here, draw the shoulders towards each other, hug the hips towards each other. And lower the right hand down, exhale. Inhale, chest forward. Exhale, hips back in a half splits, lengthening the front leg. From here, come halfway up, lengthening the spine. You can find blocks under your hands if you need. And you'll point the toes, the right foot towards the ground. And flex the foot back. And point. You might find that stretch in a completely different place here. And flex. One more time. Point. Flex. And come back forward. Inhale. Exhale, lift the back knee. Walk the hands inside of the right foot. Pivot both feet to the left and a wide-legged forward fold. Come halfway up, lengthening the spine. You can find a block here or a bit of elevation if you need. And point the toes a little bit outwards, so they're a bit of an angle. Keep the spine long and bring the weight into the heels. And you'll bend the right knee. Looking at it, make sure it's in line with your right toes. Keep pushing the hips back. Keep the hips low, shift to the left. Bending the left knee, extending the right leg. Make sure the left knee points in line with your left toes. And let's go back to the right. Bend the right knee. And to the left. Inhale, come back to center, lengthen the spine. Exhale, pivot back towards the front. Point the toes forward. Step back to plank. Inhale. Exhale, lower knees and chest to the ground. Inhale, cobra, shoulders back with the chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the left leg back. Exhale, knee to chest, hug it in. Inhale, push back. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, back, three-legged. Exhale, knee to chest, stepping it forward. Shifting the weight forward, push into the left heel. Keep them bent as you lift the right foot as high as it goes. Exhale, knee to chest, hug it in. Inhale, lift back. Exhale, in. Inhale, back, and step the foot all the way to the back again, dropping the knee. Keep the right hand down, twist to the left, inhale, opening up through the fronts of the shoulders. Let the hips squeeze towards each other like scissors. And lower the left hand down. Inhale, chest forward. Exhale, half splits. Slide the hips back, flex the front foot. Lengthen the spine, inhale. Exhale, point the left toes towards the ground. Flex the foot. And point. And flex. Once again, point. Flex. And then come back forward, bending the left knee. Lift the back knee. And pivot both feet to the right, making your way to a wide-legged forward fold. Use a block or something under your hand if you need. Lengthen the spine, shift the weight into the heels, pushing your hips back. And then you'll bend into your left knee. You can adjust the foot if you want at an angle. Pushing to the outer edges of the feet. You might find a stretch in the inner thighs or anywhere else. And then shifting to the right, bend the right knee. Keep pushing the hips back. Once again, shift to the left. And shift to the right. Inhale, come back to center, lengthening the spine. Exhale, pivot back to the front of the mat, stepping it back to plank. Inhaling, plank. Exhale to lower, knees and chest. Inhale, cobra, shoulders back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a full breath here. On your next inhale, fold the right leg back. Exhale, step the foot between the hands. Bring the right hand to the right thigh. You can bring the left hand a little bit further out. And you'll open that right knee away from you, rolling onto the outer edge of the right foot. So the sole of the foot is coming off the floor. Squeeze the hips towards each other, keeping some engagement and support, and find that stretch across the right hip. One more breath. And gently come back to center, shifting to our standing splits, fingers forward, float up, left foot goes as high as you can. Exhale, knee to chest, hug it in. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, knee to chest, and step the foot next to the right foot at the front of the mat. Inhale, come halfway up, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up to stand, arms overhead. Exhale, hands to heart. Taking a moment in our standing pose. Shift the weight into the heels and let the breath take up its space. From here, let's shift the weight into the right foot and hug the left knee in towards the chest. Taking a moment to find your balance, soften your gaze onto one point. And notice where your knee is, how high is it? And from there, try to keep it where it is as you lift the arms up. And let's open the knee out to the left. And then bring it back in. Try to keep the knee at the same height to the left. And in. One more time. Open. And close. From here, your knee is still lifted. Step the foot all the way back. You can bring the fingertips to the floor, drop the toes down. Lower the left heel to the ground and push or bring your two hands inside of the right foot. So you kind of at a diagonal. Push the hips back towards the right edge of your mat. From here, bring the right forearm to the side. Start engaging through the hips, hugging them towards each other, and lift up, reaching the left arm up to the ceiling. Take a full breath here. Pushing through the back foot, make your way up to warrior two. Arms parallel to the ground. Right knee bent in line with your toes. Lengthen that front leg. Shift the hips back. You can let the back hip roll in a little bit. Reaching the right hand forward. Drop the fingertips to the shin or to the ground and the left arm up to the ceiling. Trikonasana. Gaze to the ground and bring both hands down to the floor, bending the right knee. Downward facing dog. On your inhale, lift the left leg back. Exhale, step in between the hands. Right hand stays down, you can come a little bit further out. Left hand to the left thigh. And you'll push into that left thigh just gently, rolling onto the outer edge of the left foot. So you see the sole of the foot is lifted, but you still have a line from the inner left heel up the lower leg. Drag the shoulders back towards each other, twisting the chest up. Hug the hips towards each other. And then gently come back to center, lowering the sole of the foot down, both hands at the top of the mat. Shifting forward to standing splits onto the left foot, right foot lift as high as it can go. Exhale, knee to chest, hug it in. Inhale, lift back. Exhale, knee in and step the foot at the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, all the way up to stand, arms lift. Exhale, hands to heart. Take a full breath here. And we'll shift the weight to the left foot. Gather the right knee in towards the chest, hugging it in. Find your balance. See how high the right knee is in this passive place where your hands are holding it. And see if you can keep it in its active place at the same place. Releasing the hands, reach them up. Keep it as high as you can. Open the knee to the right. And hug it back in. 2 times like that again. Open. Close. And open. Close. From here, step it back. Right foot comes all the way to the back of the mat. Fingertips to the floor. Lower the right heel down in a warrior 2 stance. And walk the hands to the right and step in inside of the left foot. From here, push the hips back. So you're kind of pushing the femur bones, the upper thigh, into the hip. And from there, you want to engage through the glutes, scooping that left hip in or under. Bring the left forearm to the front thigh. Think of squeezing the hips towards each other as you open up, right arm up to the ceiling. Side angle pose. You can look at your left knee, making sure it's in line with your toes. Keep hugging in through the thighs, opening up through the upper body. From here, let the back leg be strong to pull you up in a warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Bend that left knee a little bit more. And gently lengthen the left leg, coming to our triangle pose, shift the hips back. You can let that right hip come in a little bit, so you're pushing really into the outer edge of the foot. Reach forward with your left hand, fingertips to the shin or to the ground, right arm lifts. And you might use all that ankle strength we developed to find a bit more strength through that front leg, pushing into the toe mounds of your left foot. Gently look down, making your way back to downward facing dog, both hands at the front of the mat. Step back to down dog. Inhale here. Exhale, drop the knees down. Come back to a child's pose, hips to the heels, forehead down. Give yourself a deep breath. Settling down a little bit. When you're ready, make your way back to downward facing dog. And on your next inhale, lift the right leg back, three-legged dog. Exhale, step the foot outside of the right hand, so you're on the outer edge of the mat. Keep the left hand down, and push that right hand a little bit into the right thigh, holding onto the outer edge of the right foot. Hug the hips towards each other, twist the chest up. Gently come back to center. Keep that right foot here, bring the 2 hands on the top of the mat. Bend that left knee to step the foot on the other side. Both feet are about hip width apart. And bend the knees coming to your squat. You might be here, you might be lower. See where you can go. You can push the arms into the knees, pushing out. At the same time, hug the knees in against the arms. Take a full breath here. From here, let's come up just off that passive place. Hugging into the hips. And then push all the way up, reach the arms up overhead, inhale. Exhale, come all the way back down towards your squat, as high as it goes, keeping the control. Once again, like that. Inhale, push it up. Exhale, lower back down. Bring the fingertips to the floor, step the left foot back. Give the left hand down, twist to the right, right arm lifts. Full breath here, hug the hips towards each other. And exhale, lower the right hand down. Anchor through both hands, step back to downward facing dog. Full breath. On your next inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, step it outside of the left hand. Keep the right hand down, left hand to the thigh. Hug the shoulder blades towards each other, hug the hips, and open up through the left hip. So Your right glute is engaged here, so you're not collapsing, but you still have a bit of support. And then really come back to center. Fingertips to the top of the mat. And step the right foot on the other side of the mat. Coming down into your balasana, your squat. Whichever height works for you today. Try to make sure the heels are on the floor. The inner arches are lifting. You can see the inside of the foot. So you're nice and anchored. So if that's not possible here, come up. Try to keep a nice solid base. From here, push through the legs. Inhale, come all the way up to stance, arm lift. Exhale, lower back down towards your squat. Let's stay here for one more breath. For me, a squat is a nice, childish, playful kind of posture. You might notice children always play like this. It's kind of a natural place to be that we lose as we grow up. So can you inhabit this playful childhood posture? All right, let's do that again. So inhale, push through the heels, come all the way up, arms lift. Exhale, drop all the way back down towards your squat. Bring the hands back to the ground and step the right foot back. Keep the right hand down, twist to the left, inhale. Exhale here. One more inhale, reach through the front of the chest. Exhale, left hand down, step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale to lower halfway or all the way. Inhale for your back bend, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right, lower the knees down for a moment, take your break. We're gonna go a bit more into the playful part. You can shake your wrists out if they're a little bit sensitive. So you'll have two options. So you can always find a down dog or child's pose if you need. We'll be traveling a bit from back to center of the mat. So you have two options for that. You're gonna anchor through the arms and then either step your way forward and back, playing with this movement, making sure you switch legs as well. Or you can do little frog jumps. So you can gaze towards that point that you're aiming for, bend the knees to have this bounce effect, and then as lightly as you can, you'll hop the way to the middle and hop your way back. Use that a few times. That's definitely going to bring your heart rate up. And remember, you're not obligated to do this. If that's not for you, that's fine. Keep pushing through the arms, trying to keep the elbows straight. And next time you come to the middle, stay here. If you're not there, walk your way there. And you'll come down into a little ball. So you're balancing onto the mounts and the toes of the feet. And you can lift the fingertips if you can, bringing them to the thighs or maybe to the heart. Thinking of spreading the toes wide, finding your balance. From here, bring your fingertips down. You can walk them a little bit more backwards so you can sit down on the bum. Bring the hands behind the thighs and lift the shin bones off the ground. Coming into your Navasana pose. You can roll a bit into the back here, letting it be more, but lifting up and hugging in. Maybe release the arms as you come forward. Staying here for 3, 2, 1. And we'll come the way we came in. So bring the feet back to the ground. And then see if you can push your way up. You can do a few tries. If it's not working for you, you can bring your hands behind you and help yourself up back to this little ball. And then we'll come down onto the knees. So you can bring your hands forward and drop down with control to your toe pose. You won't stay too long, don't worry. Take a deep breath. And we'll make our way back. So you can use your fingertips again to come back to your little ball. If not, you can also try and be playful with it, see if it works, and make your way back up. You might fall, that's part of the game. And we'll make our way back again. See if you can do it without your hands this time. Use your hands if you need. Coming down. If you roll back, that's also part of the game. Coming to our boat pose, Navasana. Hands behind the thighs, shoulders back, engage through the core, lift the lower legs. You can stay here, you can extend the arms, maybe even extend the legs for 3, 2, 1, and lower down, feet to the floor. See if you can make your way back up. Oh, might take a few tries. Make your way to your little ball. And lower the knees. See if you can do it without your hands again. Whew. All right. We'll come back towards starting point. And you have a few options. You can stay here, balancing here. You can keep doing that back and forth. Practice that transition. Or we can go into a crow pose, which is also a game of trying and failing and falling. It's all part of the game. So if you go into crow pose, you're going to bring your hands shoulder width apart in front of you. And you're going to push through the toes to lift the hips. And bring the knees behind the triceps. So that might be okay for you. You might prefer to bring the knees outside of the arms and think of hugging in. Depends on your strength and of your comfort. So I personally prefer behind the triceps. You can see what works for you. Make sure to look forward, otherwise you're gonna roll forward. So gaze as far forward as you can, and then you can lift one foot. Keep pushing the knees into the triceps, and lower with the one foot down. Lift the other, lower down, and sit back into your little ball. You can release the wrists. If that was enough for you, you can go to that little transition back and forth, or just chill here, or even child's pose, always good. If you want to keep practicing, you can do that again, hands down, lift the hips, knees behind the arms. All right, as high as they can go. You can do the same thing, lift one foot at a time, maybe try lifting both feet. Look forward, think of lifting the hips up, play with it. You can try a few times, make sure you're breathing. And when you're done, you can come back, feet on the ground, anchor the hands down and step back to your downward facing dog. Let's flow that out, inhale forward to plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Give yourself a full breath. And lower the knees to the floor on your child's pose. Lowering the forehead down. If the arms are tired, the hands can go towards the feet, letting the upper back and the arms soften. And then bring the hands by the knees. Roll your way up one vertebra at a time, coming to a seat. And you can bring the feet to one side, the hips to the other. Swing the legs forward and make your way onto your back. Knees stay bent, feet to the floor. And let's bring the right ankle over the left thigh, finding a figure 4. Make sure the right foot stays flexed. And you can stay here, maybe gather the legs closer towards you, finding a sensation somewhere in the hip. You might interlace the fingers behind the left thigh. And take a moment to settle down here. Start to notice your breath, inviting it to slow down and to get longer. Soften the back body towards your mat, into your mat. any tensions in the face, around the eyes and the forehead. Gently, the hands are interlaced, let them go. Drop the left foot down. And switching legs, right foot lowers, left ankle over the right thigh. Make sure to flex that left foot. And come to whatever angle and place you find a sensation. Interlace the fingers if you like. And once again, soften it back. You might notice remnants of your energy of play. Give them the space. Let them be there at the same time as you invite yourself to soften and to relax. Gently let that go, drop the right foot, release the left. We'll come into a happy baby, full happy baby. So you can bring the knees towards the armpits. This is one choice. You can bring the hands behind the knees, maybe up the shins. Try to bring the heels over the knees if you can. Make sure your shoulders stay dropped down towards your mat. And if it's accessible, you can grab the outer edges of the feet. Think of guiding the tailbone towards the ground, keeping more or less a neutral spine. And you can rock side to side. Once again, embody that happy baby, rolling around and just simply being and playing with what's here. You can stretch one leg, stretch the other as you rock. And taking as much time as you need, you can stay here or you can drop the feet gently to the ground. Gathering the soles of the feet towards each other, dropping the knees to the sides in a Supta Baddha Konasana, diamond shape. Letting the head and shoulders drop a little bit more and inviting the front of the hips to soften, as well with the inner thighs. Even the ankles, let them drop down onto the support of the earth. If you like, you can stay in your Supta Baddha Konasana if it's a restful shape for you, for your Shavasana, for your final relaxation. Whenever you're ready, you can find your preferred final relaxation. Bringing the hands to the outer thighs and gathering them towards each other. And either keeping the feet to the floor or maybe extending the legs. Whatever Shavasana shape your body's calling for today. The hands can be on the body if you'd like to have a better connection to your physical self, or you can open the arms out to the sides, palms facing up. Taking a moment to settle in, to absorb your practice. I'll offer you a few minutes of silence here to rest in your Shavasana. need a little bit more time here, you're welcome to take as much time as you need. When you're ready to come out of your Shavasana, start by deepening the breath. Gently inviting movement back, starting with the fingers and the toes. Maybe rocking the head side to side. Rolling the wrists and the ankles. You can reach the arms overhead and stretch the legs out. Stretching through the body, waking up. Gently rolling to one side, bend the knees into your fetal position. Your lower arm can serve as a pillow. Taking a moment here as a transition. And pushing your top hand into the floor. Push your way up towards a comfortable seat. Once you're comfortable, you can softly gaze towards the ground or close the eyes and gather the hands together towards heart center. Let's take this last few moments to inquire within yourself. What does the idea of play bring up for you, or what did it bring up for you during this practice? It could be any answer. Could be a feeling, a sensation, an emotion, an image, a shape. With this, let's close our practice together with a deep breath. Start by exhaling fully. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Let it go through the mouth. Thank you for playing with me today.